guys, Paul Reddick here. Thanks for stopping by the site. You may know me from some of the books that I've written, but we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about how to unlock your velocity. Now, there's three places that every pitcher resides. There's where they are now, there's where they should be, and then their max. Now, let me talk to you about each of these three. Most pitchers do not like where they are now, right? They're unhappy. They want to add miles per hour. I'm sure you do too. Now, it's been my experience that most pitchers can add at least 3 and sometimes as much as 9 miles per hour on their fastball in a matter of 4 to 6 weeks. In fact, most of that is already hidden inside of you, just kind of waiting to come out. And I'm going to give you the formula for that later on. But there's danger here. The danger is getting to where you should be. See, when a lot of pitchers, they go from where they are now to where they should be, they actually get into danger. And that danger I call being complacent, or kind of being sticking there and never growing. See, the first thing you have to do, of course, is go from where you are to where you should be. But then once you get to where you should be, now is actually time to start getting to your max. And your max is where all the fun is. Now, we're going to talk about max versus max velocity and sitting velocity. Because you've heard stories of like Nolan Ryan throwing like 103 miles an hour fastball. Now, 103 might be his max. But we all know that he sat in the mid to high 90s all the time. So he maxed out at 103, but sat in the high to mid 90s. Now, what you can do is even when you get to your max, there's still another level to go to, because what you can do is pretty hard to throw a ball harder than 103. But let's say your max is 95. You could probably bring your sitting velocity closer to that max as you continue to train. Now, what I also know is that most pitchers operate far, far, far below even where they should be, and tremendously below their max. I want to give you a little bit of a formula. It's going to talk about how to develop velocity. Number one is fuel. Fuel is what we eat and what we drink. There's some very few easy tweaks that you can make even just in what you drink and how you drink it. Most of us are dehydrated, and that affects performance and velocity. So if we just make a few little tweaks, there's nothing crazy, you're not going to have to rearrange your diet, but a few little tweaks and your fuel will increase your velocity. The next is body balance. How could you be expected to have balance through a pitching motion if your body is out of balance? Let me explain to you like this. Let's say there's 2 race cars that are going to race side by side. One race car is in perfect balance and alignment. The other one, its wheels are a little messed up. They're out of balance, right? Well, maybe the lefts are higher than the rights. Well, that one race car is going to go as far and as fast and as straight as it can. The other race car is going to be kind of veer off, and the direction is going to be messed up. And instead of driving it fast and hard, the driver is going to have to fight all those imbalances. See, that's why most pitchers are where they are now, is because they're fighting some of those imbalances. Now, if we can get fuel and we can add in body balance, then we at least get to where we should be. Now, that's a good place, don't get me wrong. But getting to where you should be does not mean you're reaching your potential, right? So once we get to where you should be, then we have to add in explosive strength. When we add fuel plus body balance plus explosive strength, that's when we get max velocity. Now, if you're not here, and you're not even thinking about here, you really can't be to blame, because I get every DVD and every pitching manual that's probably ever been produced, and a lot of it is confusing and it's contradictory. And some of the coaches that we come through, I'm not saying they're bad people, and I'm not saying they have bad intentions, but some of their information is confusing and is incomplete. So when you have the right information, and then you have the right instruction, and then you add in fuel, body balance, and explosive strength, you wind up getting to this place of max velocity. Now, I want you right now to take a couple tests that I put together called the velocity test. And it's going to tell you how many miles per hour you have in you right now. These are simple tests. You could do them on the floor of your bedroom in the next 5 minutes. So all you got to do is put your name and your email over off to the side here, and I'll get you the videos of that first test. Then over the next few days, I want to give you some other videos, because let's face it, you need more than a fastball. You need a curveball, slider, cutter, changeup, sinker, screwball, gyro. You need a split finger fastball, and you also need some strategy tactics too, right? So I want to kind of just give you all this stuff just for saying thanks and visiting this page. So put in your email address to the side, and I'll take you to the page where you'll be able to download the velocity links. I also want to give you a free copy of my book, The Picture Perfect Pitcher, which I think you'll love. So put in your email address, and I'll see you in a video on the next page.